Hey internet, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of the Jongravesshow. There have been some crazy news stories that dropped last week that I really didn't want to touch all that much on. I pretty much just wanted to take my time with them and sort of just see how things were going to play out over time and sort of see where people were really going to take them. And first off, the story is video game study finds that losers are more likely to harass women. And yes, the Young Turks and a lot of other people, they went on and they talked about this. And to be fair, I will say that yes, the video game side of things really isn't all that positive for women. And yes, there are people out there and also younger kids and a lot of other people out there who pretty much, when they do see a woman online, they do want to, or at least for a lot of them, a pin drops and then they want to actually talk to this girl and they want to get to know her personally. I sort of understand that. I mean, like, a lot of dudes do that. I mean, like, I was like that at one point in my life where, like, you know, like if I hear a girl playing like a game online or doing something like that, you know, I wanted to share that interest and I wanted to use that as a means to get to know her and sort of like maybe build a friendship and then like go on from there, or at least use that to meet somebody. But the thing about that is that yes, playing games online, it is not a very fun, or at least like it's not a very crazy thing to be yelled at or talked down to while actually trying to play a competitive game in a player versus player like environment. I mean it's so weird to me how this is even news in the first place, because I'm like, that's not a study. I mean, like, the study goes on to talk about how that these two dudes in which that they were doing this study where they ran over 100 and how many games was it? It was over 163 games of Halo 3 on the Xbox 360, a very old platform, which, or at least by today's standards, and it's not a very current game. I mean, like, if it man was like, let's say like Last of Us or something like, I mean, like, this really isn't even like a very credible story anyway, or at least like a credible source anyway, because they only pulled it from one source. You can't just look at Halo 3, or you gotta look at Halo 3, Call of Duty, like Counter-Strike. You gotta even fucking mobile games. You gotta go through all these different things, and honestly, yes, I went and I played most of these games in which that I've spoken of, and yes, it's like, for people out there who aren't necessarily put up to like a specific level, people will actually judge you on that. I mean, like, I've played free to play team games and people say that shit. I mean, like, I was playing a game called Dungeon Fighter, and yes, like, this is before it went down and then they brought it back. Before it went down, I was playing a game with a 4-person party, and for those of you out there who don't know, that game is a competitive game, which is like, you run through dungeons together and then you kill monsters, and then somebody, or at least I was playing, and then one of the members that I was playing with, they outright just fucking said that the other 2 members up on the team were actually really fucking terrible. The only decent player was actually me, the person who was actually doing his fucking job and actually trying to like not fucking die, whereas the other 2 were running into things, constantly getting hit. And I don't know if these people are guys or girls or pretty much or whatever, or they're just not really into the game all that much. All I know is that they were getting talked down to because they were terrible at the fucking game. I mean, like, you play Counter-Strike and you constantly always die. You are going to get talked. You are going to be looked at as the fucking reason why you lose or something like that. And I was hit with that when I first played Call of Duty. And this isn't even me saying like, well, no, my fucking experiences are better than everybody else's. What I'm pretty much saying is that it don't matter if you're a guy or a girl. It doesn't matter if everybody's quiet on the chat, if everybody's talkative on the chat. It doesn't necessarily matter. The fact of the matter is, though, is that the people out there who fucking lose, they will always try and find a reason as to why they lost, which is why in the Call of Duty sense, they love to throw up the whole camping argument. And I'm like, yeah, camping is a problem because everybody doesn't know how to fucking play this goddamn game. Everybody just fucking runs out like a fucking dumbass instead of actually trying, man, to like watch an area, which that you have the which is why Counter-Strike is as popular as it is. You have the defending team and you have the attacker team, which is the major reason why nobody actually likes to play capture the flag or anything like that in, say, a Call of Duty game, because everybody right now is on the whole mentality of, well, now it's all me. It's like, I gotta get out there, I gotta run and gun, and then they fucking lose, and then they blame it on camping, or they blame it upon somebody using like a cheap weapon, or their man saying like that you are cheating because, man, you're modding or something like that, which that they have to find some type of excuse as to why they didn't, as to why they lost. And yes, that is a very competitive game problem. That's a fucking co-op game problem. That is the risk you take whenever you play this game with people who don't know how to work as a team, and they don't know how to actually, or at least like they're having like a bad match or a bad game, and it's like, dude, you are not the center of the world. You don't have to look at a woman and just be like, well, now since she's a woman and she fucking did better, well then obviously, man, like they are just letting her win, or it's like she's a girl, she has no right, man, to play this game. She fucking sucks, stuff like that. And I'm like, it's fine if you lose. People kind of have this misconception that losing is a bad thing. If you learn from those losses, then hey, it's a good thing. If you don't learn from those losses, then you're a fucking idiot, and you probably should not be playing this shit in the first fucking place. But all in all, though, it's like, I see this as an all-around problem, yes. And to be fair, just like most things on the internet, it's like, yes, playing online is a mixed bag. Unless you know the people that you play the games with, going online is a mixed bag. And I deal with that shit every single time I play a fighting game, I play a co-op game, I play a competitive game. That shit is a mixed bag. And that is something to where, like, even if you play a fighting game, which is a one-on-one game, is like, if you do a specific move and win, which that no matter what, if you win online in a very specific way, people will actually hate you because of that, because they're like, well, now you cheated because you constantly kept using this one move. And don't matter if you're male, female, whatever, that's just how people are. And the internet, well, actually the internet is a pretty good mask, because this still goes down with the questions of, like, if somebody did that shit in person, you would probably fucking yell at them, or you would probably just say, dude, shut the fuck up, it's just a video game, which is where that term comes from. But all in all, I really feel as though that this is sort of one-sided, and that this article really isn't all that credible. But honestly, saying that men rely on aggression and that they take it out upon women, and like men who lose increase that, it's safer to say that it's just bullying because they feel as though that they should have won. But that is what I got to say about that. What do you think about this down there in the comment section? I do have more, but I don't want to keep this up. So yeah, if you feel differently from me, or if you feel the same, please tell me down there in the comment section. I'll catch you guys on the next Jongravesshow. If you like this video, please hit that like button. I'll catch you next time. Please keep watching anime, keep playing video games. I'm out.